I'm Staff Sergeant Nader Maghribi. That's Nader Maghribi.
Okay.
From Kennesaw, Georgia.
What is your primary role at Mobility Guardian?
My primary role at Mobility Guardian is to ensure that the PR aspect of AMC is being met. Right. So we do anything from OC to acting as an isolated person for on-scene commander practice and things like that. So just making sure that we're meeting that PR element in AMC, the personal recovery element.
Okay, what is it like working hands-on with, or training people hands-on that really don't know exactly what they're doing or that are kind of new to the SERE element?
Well, great example is I had some cadets the other day. They have no SERE training, no SERE background, but I enjoy it because everybody that I used to get up at Fairchild at the SERE school usually had no SERE background either. So it kind of brings me back to the roots of my SERE career.
Okay, what are some things that you've done out here at Mobility Guardian, like working with other international forces?
So I took a UK SERE guy. UK SERE guy came out with me, and we took a bunch of isolated personnel, people that are playing isolated personnel, and we were walking around through the desert, and we got to basically share knowledge back and forth and share certain tactics that we would use as SERE specialists back and forth from how the UK does business to how we do business, and we were able to basically impart that on our airmen.
Why do you think the interoperability, fun word, right? Interoperability between international forces, why do you think that's important?
Well, in PR, it's incredibly important because of the fact that depending on where we are, different nationalities have control of certain areas. So we just don't know who an isolated person might get picked up by. So understanding how they do business gives us a better essay on how we're going to train our air crew how to deal with that.
Okay, what was the most difficult thing about working out here at Mobility Guardian? Something you might want to improve on or anything like that?
Like 108 degrees, 14-hour days, and you know, obviously austere conditions. All those things kind of roll together makes it difficult, but that's what we enjoy. We enjoy having difficult days. If you have an easy day, it's not really fun.
Okay, what is the overall benefit? What do you think the greatest benefit of Mobility Guardian is?
The greatest benefit of Mobility Guardian is to take all the parts and pieces that a lot of people practice at their bases, and we're kind of putting this whole thing together. Now we're able to interoperate things like airdrop with command and control. We're able to do on-scene commander with actual people on the ground. So now we're able to kind of really tie things together rather than practicing these things piece by piece the way they're typically practiced.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add about here?
No, I just want to say thank you to Mobility Guardian and giving me the opportunity to come out here and really take some time to build relations with partner nations. So.
My name is Jonathan Peavy, Staff Sergeant, JONATHAN PEAVY. Big Sandy, Texas.
Is that serious?
Yeah.
It sounds, you know. Anyway, what is your home base and your home unit?
I'm stationed at Fort Polk as a det of Little Rock Air Force Base, 34th Combat Training Squadron.
Beautiful. What is your primary role here at Exercise Mobility Guardian?
Well, my primary role is pretty much everything for this. I put this whole thing together after I got it handed in May. So I've done the planning, the coordination for both the jumps, the drops, on-scene commander training. Every single thing I've had a hand in.
Okay, is this the first time you've ever led something this big?
We run smaller exercises at Green Flag. They're basically mini versions of what we have here. However, this is the biggest exercise I've been a part of, and I've literally ran almost every step of it. So it's been a big learning experience for me on that. It's good, it feels great to have the successful missions that we have going on, but it's also stressful and glad it's almost over.
What was the most difficult part about planning all this stuff?
I think honestly it's 120 phone calls I get a day, and just trying to keep track of who is calling me, making sure everything goes according to plan, and just everything that I had planned and put heart and soul into, making sure it goes off. So I mean, the difficult thing is just getting pounded with questions and trying to keep track of what everything's supposed to happen. And then leading guys too that are senior to me, and whenever they may have more experience than me in some things, it's been a learning experience to trust them to execute.
Give me 1 second. You work with partner nations out here doing SERE training and everything. Why is it important to you to share TTPs with other military forces?
I think the most important thing we can do when we have as many partner nations in this exercise policy is try to integrate them into all facets of it. We're just making the air mobility part of it. We were able to have British and New Zealand partners, SERE guys out here with us as well. So it's been great having them, learning their experiences, and getting their viewpoints on things. I like learning from other guys as well, my U.S. guys, but they just bring a whole new attitude, accent, and experience to the table, and it's nice to be able to show them things while they show us the same things as well. I've done training out here in Yakima before. I knew it was going to be a little difficult. However, some of the things that we've had to come to realization is rental cars and Yakima Training Center don't always go the best together. So we've gone through quite a bit of tires. We've had to upgrade tires on some of our rental vehicles, and just the sheer scale of this training complex and encompassing with the heat, it's challenging to make sure everything happens safely. However, we've been doing great so far.
Okay, overall, what do you think the best benefit of Mobility Guardian is?
So our job is that somebody that has the worst day of their life, if they're behind enemy lines, they get shot down or they get isolated, that we give them the chance to come home, and we make that happen. So I really think that we have empowered and gave people confidence in either walking the trail, flying overhead and supporting that guy who's having the worst day of his life and just calming him down and walking it through it, or finding new ways to support them with a bundle drop or even somebody overhead just to calm them down. So I think we've been able to support that main mission set of this guy has the worst day of his life, and we're doing what we can to make that a little bit better and come to fruition a little faster.
Okay, now let's talk about these airdrops. I understand that they're pretty new, the SERE airdrops with the bags that they're using. Can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit and what they're doing with that?
Yep, absolutely. So what we've taken is there's a general 4-hour rule of, all right, we'll get a guy back, we'll get him in a helicopter.
Again, so can you tell me a little bit about the SERE drops that were happening out here? I understand they're pretty new. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started at Green Flag putting coolers to free fall out of a C-130 or to fall with a 68-inch pilot chute, a smaller scope capability without having this massive signal that this guy's getting resupplied. So we're trying to develop a small resupply kit that we can get coordinates to send it to like that. I can't go too much into details on it, but basically it's going to help guys in the middle of nowhere get resupplied. And it's something that we're trying to push as a valid idea, proof of concept. Not necessarily testing it, however, everything we've seen, it's a great asset and everybody likes it. So we want to try to move on to the next step in getting that pushed forward.
No, do you have anything you could improve on with Mobility Guardian?
This is the first time we're running it, and we got asked to come here kind of late. Yeah, absolutely. We have some logistical things we can work out, better tires on rental vehicles. But I think with as much time as we had, that we've done pretty much everything that we can do. And we've been able to take on people's requests and improve upon them at a moment's notice. So yes, there's always room for improvement. However, I think we've done a really good job with the group of guys we have here.
Okay, last question before the last question. What do you think the biggest benefit of being out here working with at Mobility Guardian, working with other international forces, what do you think the biggest benefit of that was?
Well, we're actually going to brief every single country here, which is about 30, and that never happens anywhere I've seen. And it's a chance to push my career field and like our meaning to other countries and help maybe their SERE program get set up and have ideas or whatnot. So the whole purpose of this exercise, I think, is to help invite interoperability to come to the next one and then just keep improving on what we're doing. So we can get more countries, SERE guys out here, we can get more programs potentially stood up. Yeah, I lost my train of thought.
Okay, that's fine. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
The last thing I want to say is that this exercise has been challenging, but I feel like I've grown a lot from it, and I can't say too much about how the actual mobility part of it is going, but as far as the SERE personnel here and what we've accomplished, I'm pretty proud about it. It's a big thing, and there's a lot of working pieces, but it's all come together, and it's actually been kind of fun, minus 120 phone calls a day.
All right, well, thank you, sir. You did